Alright, we're going to do an update on the gun and ammunition panic buying. I had to go out again yesterday. I went to the two stores that I did in the first video. Um, Academy Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse. Um, what's changed since I went there and any other reports is Academy Sports only allows 50 people in the store at one time. So the parking lot was fairly empty. I went there like at 10 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday. So you're not going to have a big crowd there normally anyway. But there were two employees by the door. And used to be the automatic doors, you can go in one or the other. One was marked exit only. There were two guys on the left-hand door. When you went in, the door was open. And I guess they're counting the people. So the store's limited to how many people go in there. So when I went in there were people buying fishing rods and everything else. You know, there were some people in there other than just running to the gun counter in the ammunition department. When I went there, I did notice one thing. As far as the guns are concerned, usually what they do is they'll have item on display and then, you know, 4 or 5 others in the back. So if you wanted to look at a rifle in 270, they had the Savage rifles. He'd pull one out in 270, let you look at it and say, hey, I want to buy it. He puts that back in the display rack, goes in the back room and brings you a brand new gun in a box out, okay? So if the display guns are gone, that means that particular model is sold out. So when I went in there, most of them hunting bolt action rifles are still there. There were some shotguns there. Any type of AR style gun was gone. And in the handgun counters, I think they got like 3 or 4 glass display cases. Like 2 of the 4 were empty. There were still handguns available. There was a number of them in different calibers, but a vast majority of their gun inventory is gone. But there were guns there, okay? Ammunition-wise, like I said, they do something a little different. It's like they put small amounts of it out because you're limited to 3 boxes of anything. They put little bit, you know, amounts out there. And I think they do it every other day or something, because when I went in there I bought some small pistol primers, and then when I went to the reloading section there was 2,000 large pistol primers. Okay, so you can still get primers. Powder is gone. The shelf with powder is empty, and there's plenty of shotgun shells for hunting birds or whatever. And I don't know about double-aught buckshot, but the shotgun shell area had stuff in it, and you know, there was assorted rifle ammo, different calibers. I really didn't look, but there was ammunition there that you could buy, okay? And there was no panic, there was no line waiting at the gun counter, so. But they are restricted, you know. It was quiet, calm there, kind of laid back. All the other things in the strip mall are closed down because they're either food places, restaurants, or a global mart that sells everything: furniture, clothes, beer, some, you know, food items. That was, you had to call in. If you want something, call them. They'll get it, pull up to the curb, and they deliver you the thing. So then I go down the street to Sportsman's Warehouse. Now, Sportsman's Warehouse last week had an employee at the door and all this other stuff. Then again, there's a notice, we're limiting, you know, 80 people or something in the store at any given time, okay? But there was nobody at the door now. You walked in there, it was pretty quiet. That whole aisle of stuff, the only thing left was the bulk packs of 308, 6.5 Grendel, 6.8 Remington SPC, and they were in 200 round packs of these rifle calibers. Some of them 22 buckets were still left, but any type of bulk handgun ammo was not there. And they were unboxing stuff and putting it on the shelves. You know, there was stuff on the shelves. There is ammunition in the Sportsman's Warehouse. Okay. And when I went to the reloading area, again, the only powder they got is black powder substitute 777, and there's another one. It's a black powder substitute. Those were the only two powders available. But when I went there a week ago, there were no primers, but I could find large rifle primers, small rifle primers, and small pistol primers. There's kind of scattered. Shot shell primers aren't selling. There's not a lot of people reloading shotgun shells. But they did have primers, where last week they didn't have any. And a lot of Magnum pistol, Magnum rifle, which isn't selling. But you could get some Federal small pistols. You could get some CCI large rifle. You know, there was primers there, which the week before there wasn't. So things are getting in there, okay? And then the gun counter, again, like the other place, I'd say, 60-65% of their inventory is gone. Okay, all the ARs off the wall are gone, other than the real super expensive ones. They still have hunting rifles. Most of the shotguns are gone. They have some used guns. It's kind of weird. They had a Mosin Nagant and a Mauser rifle in the used gun rack, which I didn't get a chance to look at. And again, they have extensive cases of handguns that go around, which a vast majority of them there are empty. Okay, they have, 8 or 10 glass display cases. It was full of all kinds of stuff. And they're pretty much, there's not a lot of stuff there. So they sold a lot of handguns, okay? You can still buy them in my state, like, myself. If you have a concealed carry permit, in North Carolina, that's considered an instant background check. So you can go buy a handgun or a rifle, a shotgun anytime you want. The problem is states where someone has to go to the sheriff first and go through a procedure to go buy, a lot of the government offices are closed down. And in this state, if you need a handgun purchasing permit, which you must go to the sheriff's office and obtain, that might be problematic and it might be difficult for you to buy a gun. Now, another thing, a lot of the judges have stated that gun shops, they tried doing this stuff, closing the pawn shops and the gun shops as non-essential, okay? Politicians tried doing this backdoor scam, but that's been overruled, and these shops are open now. So there really isn't a panic. There really isn't, like back in the Obama days, it was like a madhouse. When you went to a gun show, you couldn't get into the thing for 2 hours. I mean, it was crazy. There is a rush, and people are buying, and these stores are sold out, but it is not the same environment that it was 8-10 years ago. Okay, it's different. And there's different people out there looking to buy firearms and ammo, okay? Because there's been such a glut. Any of us that are in the shooting sports, or any of us that actively go out and use the guns all the time, target shooting, or competing, all right, we always have ammo, okay? There's a lot of these people that don't have anything, that aren't into guns, that are nervous with the situation here, with this here. Now, that's the local thing. And then another thing, this ammunition hoarding or buying it, then marking it up and reselling it, you kind of can't do that now because the flea markets, gun shows, and all that stuff are closed. Because I remember during the last ammo crunch, people would come with little hand carts with cases of ammo with a price tag on it. They just went and bought a bunch of ammo by the case, be it 9mm or 223, 5.56, and then they just carted around the gun show with a price tag on it, during the shortage. Well, they can't do that. Okay, so that's what's different now, is there's no way for people who are exploiting this to try to go and buy up ammunition and then mark it up. Okay, that was a game they played. Well, that with the current situation and everybody being on a stay-at-home order and all the venues to where you could try to sell this are closed. So anybody trying to pull that crap ain't going to get away with it. Okay? Simple as that. So that's where it's a little bit different. Now, for reloading components, if you go online, I went online and looked. Powders, certain powders, especially like for handguns, powder is available, but certain types, and I can tell because I use it for like handgun rounds or anything that people are using to load the 5.56 223 or even 3031, which is popular powder for 308, okay, or any assault rifle caliber. Those powders are gone, and they're sold out on several different online places. Primers, most of the primers are sold out online, I believe. I didn't look and check, but like I said, you can still get them. Or see, the thing about the online stuff is, say they're out of stock, or some companies will let you put a back order in. Say they ain't got it, but it's coming in 2-3 weeks. All right, well, I want to buy 3 1-pound cans or something. You can put a back order in, and then when it arrives, it'll be gone. Or you can set up an email notification, and then the minute they have it in stock, they'll send you an email, and you go and buy it, and that's why it will sell out again rapidly and be sold out, because people use those services of being emailed when it's back in stock. Okay, so you're going to see that. Really, right now, I'm only short. There's 1 or 2 powders I was thinking of getting for some experiments, but I'm pretty well set for it. But if I run out, because some I only have a pound of, it may be difficult for me to carry out my reloading. And so that's it for the reloading and the powder. Some things are going to be tough to get, but if you're patient, eventually you'll end up with them. I don't foresee it like that weird. And I think a lot of that shortage created during the Obama era, that was done deliberately with the people producing the products did that. So that's it on the gun, buying update. You can still get things. There are a lot of things sold out at this time, but I believe if you're patient and wait a while, it'll come back into stock, because like I said, they had such an excess. Okay, and just everybody all at once buys anything there. I think you'll see also that it's not going to be like it was back in the old days, back during the Obama administration, when there were shortages of everything. I remember looking for a type of gunpowder for 2.5 years and couldn't find it anywhere, online, at the shows. So that's my updated report.